Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Donald Allen. He's a veterinarian out of Canfield. Or it's not Canfield, Boardman, I'm sorry. It's up that way. Anyways, he's also a Republican running for this Uncle Charlie's seat. Give him a warm round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Duke. I appreciate the introduction. I hope this thing works for me. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out. How many of you were bused here? Any hands? How many of you were paid to come here? Nobody? How many of you are simply patriotic Americans who want to save our country? That's what I thought. You know, there's an ancient Chinese curse that states, "May you live in interesting times." It would appear from the current situation in our country that this curse is now upon us and our children. Unemployment is at a 26-year high and growing. Our national security is being neglected in the name of political correctness. And our president repeatedly bows to foreign heads of state, diminishing our stature in the world. And he continues to drive our economy towards socialism. Now our healthcare system has been hijacked by Congress, putting 1/6 of our former free market economy under the control of this administration. When has our government ever run a program efficiently and saved money?
Never.
How about Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, the post office? How about Amtrak? Are you ready for more? As Nancy Pelosi said, we have to pass.
Daddy, look.
What's going on here? We have to pass the bill so you can find out what's in it. To give you a little background on myself, I am a success story of the government system, so I have a different perspective on how it should work. My father died when I was 6, and my mother raised her 2 boys with the help of Social Security. The difference between then and now is that we use government assistance as a hand up, not a handout. Thank you. The system is in place as a temporary fix to help people get back on their feet. But today, it's become a lifestyle. And we can't allow this to continue.
Touch Daddy.
Our entitlement mentality is bankrupting our country and disillusioning our children. I am a veterinarian in Mahoning County. I have operated a solo vet practice for over 18 years with 7 employees and the assistance of my wife, Paula. We are small business owners and as such realize the strains and constraints and obstacles that government bureaucracy can have on this sector of America. The intrusive nature of government agencies into small business hinders far more than it helps. I have also served our country in the armed forces. As of May, I will be retired from the Air Force Reserves at the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you. I started my service in 1967 when I joined the Air Force and served as a military journalist for 4 years. For the past 15 years, I have worked as a public health officer at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base's Medical Center. I was recently informed that Ohio Veterans United has given me a highly recommended rating. And wherever Dick Stobbs is, I thank him very much for help with that. After my enlistment, I went to horseshoeing school in Macomb, Illinois, and became a professional horseshoer for 9 years to help pay my way through college, along with the GI Bill. I mentioned this at a dinner recently, and a lady asked if I was ever in any tournaments. I replied, this is a different kind of horseshoe. Now, essentially every economic problem this country faces today can find its roots in actions our Congress has taken. Tariff removals, free trade agreements, and allowing unfair trade practices to decimate our businesses and industries. It's time to put America and Americans first, bring industry back to this country, and strengthen what we have not already lost. Simply becoming independent of foreign oil would be a boon to our economy and would create millions of petroleum-related jobs across the country. Why hasn't this been done? Small businesses are the economic cornerstones of every community, yet our government... Are you there? Yeah. Small businesses are the economic cornerstones of every community, yet our government makes it very difficult to start a new business and work it to success. Starting and running a new business in this country shouldn't be this difficult and daunting. It's time to remove the barriers and strengthen support for small businesses. Our government should be facilitating businesses instead of inhibiting free enterprise. Our health care is great, but our health insurance costs are continually rising. Yet, in over 3,000 pages of House and Senate proposals, the three most important means to reduce costs have been ignored. True tort reform, the loser pays rule, and opening up interstate health insurance competition. Instead, we have a promise to clean up Medicaid fraud and abuse, to help pay for a system that will only increase cost and add the huge expense of a new bureaucracy to monitor and administer the takeover of health care in our country. Now that this administration has spent the money, it's proposing a new value-added tax to pay for it. If you thought your health care insurance was costly, wait till you see the taxes go up on everything you buy. The top 50% of the workers and producers in this country pay 97% of our income taxes, and this proportion has steadily risen for decades. Many members of Congress have already agreed with the fair tax bill, which would repeal the 16th Amendment, which gives Congress power to tax our incomes. If Congress passes a value-added tax, that will be on top of income tax. Time to contact our representatives and encourage support for the fair tax instead of a VAT before it's too late. Today, we are on a railroad train headed for a very dark tunnel. And on the other side lies an entirely different world for America. That is, unless we can put the brakes on this runaway train. We need to turn the direction this country is going and point it back toward the infallible guides that formed this great nation in the beginning. The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and, yes, the Bible. It's time to return to constitutional rule and not a manipulative interpretation of that unique, timeless document. National concern for the future of our country promises to make 2010 an extraordinary election year. I believe the time has come where our votes in November will speak loudly for each and every one of us. We can do this. We can win in 2010 and stop this train to destruction. And with your help, we will win through to victory. Thank you for allowing me this time. God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Remember in November,